What up, world? Welcome back. I hope you guys are motivated. Big shout out to all my entrepreneurs, business owners. I'm rooting for you guys, man. I want to talk about the financial pyramid. And I picked up this dictionary of finance and investment terms. Even after a degree in finance, I still read these terms and, always opens your eyes to read. But anyway, I ran into this financial pyramid, and you guys will be able to go back and see this after. But I want to talk about this for a second because on the bottom of the pyramid, I've never seen this. I just ran into it, but I think it's really good. And as an entrepreneur, one of the things that you're gonna feel a lot is the financial pressures of being an entrepreneur. And money management goes a long way in being an entrepreneur. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that really this all-in mentality when it comes to entrepreneurialism, which is awesome, but you shouldn't have this all-in mentality when it comes to your finances. Really, you should have always have some money in the bank, man. And I know this is hard when you're building the business from nothing. I've been there. I know it's hard when you're just getting by. We're always just getting by. That's the truth. But this is a great chart. So I'm going to explain this and why I think this is great and how it's worked for me and how I think it can work for you in several situations. So let me show you guys this one more time. The pyramid on the bottom shows liquidity and safety. The second line up shows income and long-term growth. The third thing up shows speculation, and the very top of the pyramid, high risk. Now, let me tell you guys, I'm going to leave this up here, and I'm going to talk from behind here because I think this is important to understand. Most people have this graph upside down when you're an entrepreneur. Most people, when you look at the weight of this graph, right, how big this section is here, most people have more risk than they do liquid assets. And I know this because I talk to entrepreneurs, and I know this because I am an entrepreneur. So there's a lot of times in your entrepreneurial ventures where you feel you don't have any cash. You don't have any cash, right? So your liquidity and your stability is very small because there's no cash. There's no cash. So it's almost all in this high risk situation, right? Well, what does that mean? Well, let's take both examples. First of all, if you do have cash, let's start there, and I'll get to the if you don't have cash in 1 second. But if you do have cash, you need to allocate it like this, right? You need to make sure you have a steady foundation of cash all the time, and then you can have the second line, which is income and growth, right? So maybe bonds, stocks with dividends, and then you can have speculation plays, maybe some land, for example. This is how it works for me, and then maybe some high risk stuff, like maybe some internet investments, pay-per-click ads, maybe hustle, buy and sell a car, right? That's something a little bit higher risk where there's as far away from liquidity as possible. Liquidity is cash, right? Liquid cash. So now if you don't have any money, let's talk about that because I've been there and I feel like the successes and the stability in my career as an entrepreneur, now doing this 14 years, has really come from this, right? So when you don't have money, this isn't a graph. This is more like a pie chart. It becomes like a circle where, no pun intended, it looks like a zero, right? So you have no cash. But my point is that zero, that circle, is all risk, right? If we look back at this thing, it's all this top section and maybe some deals in speculation, but you don't really have, you might have some long-term growth, maybe here in a job with income. But you definitely don't have a lot of cash, right? Because we're talking about someone with no money. So usually this thing looks like all risk. And that's okay, because when you have nothing to lose, it's a risky situation, and you're going to risk what feels like everything because you have nothing, right? So when you have nothing, it does feel like you're risking everything because you don't have anything. So what's my point? You're going to hit. If you're motivated and you're determined, I talk about this in my other videos, right? If you believe, if you got a plan and you have the desire to do it, and you eliminate fear, doubt, indecision, right? Those 6 things, you're gonna go from that high risk situation to a situation where you grab some cash, or you grab some another income stream, for example, where your speculation play hits, right? And now you got some cash in the bank. And the problem is that a lot of people just throw this cash all back in, all of it, right? And then you're wondering why you're starving tomorrow for a bacon, egg, and cheese because you got no cash. So as soon as you grab that, get into the habit of taking some of that and burying it, taking another little section and diversifying it just like this. Every time you get cash, the majority of it should be down here, right? A good base for your financial future. And then the second portion, you should have some long-term growth. Like, so for example, a stock that pays a dividend, it may go up and down, but over 7 years, 10 years, the market has proven that it's going to show a return. So I'll still have that little dividend coming in, and I have that liquid, almost liquid, right? Because this is from liquid to not liquid. On the top is super not liquid, on the bottom is super liquid, meaning you can use it. So every time you get money, you should be, 75, 20, 10, and 1%, right? Whatever that breakup is, maybe 50%, then 25%, and then you split this up between, 10% and another 10%, whatever the numbers are. But most of your money should go in that bottom section. So I thought that was a great pyramid. I think it's super important for entrepreneurs to understand money management. Money's not going to come in consistently; it just doesn't. And when it does, you're gonna catch licks. And it may come in consistently. I shouldn't say that. That should be your goal. That should be your goal, is for it to come in consistently. But when it doesn't, you have to understand that grabbing money and putting it in liquid spots and putting it in situations that produce income creates that stability over the long term. So, and at least for me, this is how I've done it. When I've made money, the more I've allocated it like this, right? So majority of it down here, the less I had to worry tomorrow if I had money or not. So that's really important. But I hope that helped. The financial pyramid, like I said, I just saw it. I wanted to share that with you. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Put comments underneath and let me know what you guys thought. Follow me on Twitter @Nicholas Coriano. Hit me up. I'm super sociable. And we'll talk again soon, guys. Thanks.